If you belong to a country which has a treaty signed with the United States of America, and you want to establish a business in USA for which you want to do import or export of any kind of a product or services, then there is a great opportunity for you. There is a great visa program which supports to such foreign and alien investors and business community and business people who want to do the trading of product or services between USA and that treaty country. And that particular visa program is called E1 Treaty Trader Visa. So in this video today, I would explain you how does the E1 Treaty Trader Visa works, who may qualify for this visa, what kind of a business, products and services you might consider trading for this visa program, and how does this whole process and the business setup would work. So stay tuned. Hi, my name is Rahil Sheikh. I'm a business consultant based in Virginia, USA. In my firm, Startup Business Bureau, we provide consulting and management services to foreign investors and entrepreneurs who want to establish the business in USA, who want to do the business migrations to USA, and at the same time, they want to pursue towards e-visa programs like E1 Treaty Trader Visa or E2 Treaty Investor Visa programs for USA. US being the land of opportunities provides a great business potentials and business opportunities for all those investors who want to do the business in USA. So if you belong to a country which has a treaty signed with US and you are engaged or involved in a business of importing or exporting the products or services between the USA and your treaty country, then you may qualify for E1 Treaty Trader Visa. Now, in order to understand how does this whole visa program works, let's first go to the step one and understand what does the mean by trade is. So by meaning of trade, it can be anything which regards to the product. You can import any product from USA, or you can export any products to USA, or at the same time it can be services as well. You are providing any kind of services to US clients, or you are taking the services from US companies. So any of the ways, in either ways, whether you are taking the service or products from USA or to USA, and that major volume of your overall business, you have a business established in your hometown, which is a treaty country, and the major volume of your business happens between US and your treaty country, that means you may need to consider the E1 Treaty Trader Visa. So as the name explained, it is a treaty trader visa, which means you do not necessarily need to have a particular or a substantial or a fixed amount of capital investment, which happens to the in case of an E2 visa program. So you do not necessarily need to put the big chunk of money in terms of investment, but what you need to have is that you need to have a sufficient trade, which means the actual investment, actual volume of money and the amount and capital which would be spent in your own business in terms of providing the exchange of goods or services. So if we go deep in detail, so for example, if you are providing a high ticket value product, if you are doing a trade of a high ticket size product, and there is a thin profit margin. So for example, if your profit margins are on an average, let's say 15 to 20% as a net profits, and then in that case your monthly or average trade volume should be quite sufficient. It should go somewhere into a couple of 100,000 at least in the beginning, and then over the period of time it should cross some couple of millions of dollars in terms of the revenues, in terms of the trade volume. But if you are into the services, so for example, if you are going the IT services where the net profits are increased as compared to any product or trade, so which means in any kind of a IT or digital marketing services, you can expect somewhere around 35 to 40% as a basic minimum industry practice. So in that way, your trade volume of your service can be somewhere around at least 20, 30 or $50,000 a month, and it can increase gradually over the period of time. So basically the concept is you need to have a sufficient trade volume which should be having decent and sufficient ample amount of profit margins, which should be capable of sponsoring you as a beneficiary of this whole visa program, because once you move to the country you need the business to support you and in terms of your income and the cost of living, and that support should be over and above than the current expenses or the current operations. For example, if you are having an operations team in your hometown, you might have a warehousings, you might have different kind of the sales team, marketing, business development team, and those kind of team and human resources. So after covering those expenses, the business should have a decent profit and sufficient of margin to cover you and your expenses of living in the USA and expanding the business in over the period of time. So in a nutshell, if you have a business in hand or you are already engaged into a business which is doing a trade of product and services between USA and your treaty country, or you want to start something brand new but you think you identify a product, a problem, a solution, or a service which you can import or export to the USA, and the volume of that trade should be sufficient, and then you may certainly need to consider even treaty trader visa, so that based on this visa you can actually move to US, you can bring your family and let them stay in the USA as their prime residence. They can start living in US, and at the same time you can start building your whole lifestyle within the country. So with regards to the US business setups, US business visa programs or e-visa programs, if you may have any concerns or queries, feel free to reach out to us, and me and my team would be happy to address all of those concerns. Thank you. Have a good one.